Okay, in review 4.10, you're going to put together all of the important things that you've learned before you take an assessment or a quiz on this. So you're going to review the verb estar, ir, and venir. Okay, those are the three verbs. Make sure you know the conjugations below. So the yo form, so if you're going to say I am, estoy, I go would be voy, I come would be vengo. So make sure that you understand how this chart works and understand what it means, and then we're going to keep going. So review those verbs, make sure you memorize those forms, and then you're going to go ahead and do a practice activity, and again, do it carefully, and then make sure you check all of your answers. The important part I want to go over is the assessment, because this is a little complicated. You can do it, but you do have to really read and pay attention and follow directions. So let's go ahead and take a look, and this is a voice activity. So you're going to make sure you've been listening to all those sound files, make sure you know how to pronounce all of the words. You're going to write them out first, and then you're going to read them in your very best Spanish. Okay, so for this activity, you're going to record your voice, and you're going to write a paragraph. Now, that's the most writing that you've done, but remember, a paragraph is just a string of sentences together. So you've had plenty of practice putting together good sentences in the last 3 modules, and so now you're going to put them all together in a way that's related, okay? You're going to make sure that you're using these 3 verbs, ir, estar, and venir. And remember, you can't just use them in those forms. You have to conjugate them. You have to change them, going back to that lesson and those charts. You need to include modes of transportation and places. So basically everything you've been learning in Module 4 so far. So you're going to say that people are going to a certain place, or they're coming from or coming to a certain place. Your paragraph should be 4 to 5 sentences long and should be in a logical sort of order. So when you're thinking about your story or your paragraph, make sure it all makes sense, okay? Once you've prepared it, then you're going to read it, okay? So the first thing is they're giving you some words to start with, a little bit of help. So here's the word bank of people, subject pronouns, and subjects that you can use if you want, okay? So you can pick and talk about Dalia, you can talk about las niñas, the children, the girls. You can talk about el profesor Paz, okay? So you can talk about any of these people. You can talk about Jose y Mario, so there would be 2 people there. You're going to then, here's a little bank of transportation, so different ways to get different places. Now make sure you go back and look at that lesson on transportation, because remember, you go en bicicleta, but you go por avión. So you have different pronouns that go in front of each one. So here's a word bank, but you're not going to necessarily use them in this form. So you need to go back and look. And then they give you a nice little word bank of different places that you could go. Okay, so first you're going to put together some sentences. I'm going to verbally give you a sentence as an example. So I'm going to start here with mi madre. And I'm going to say my mom, my mother, is going. So I'm going to take the verb ir. Okay? It makes more sense to say that she's going to a place and then the way she's going to get there. So I'm not going to go in this order. So I'm going to say mi madre va, and then I'm going to pick one of these places that she's going to go. Now remember, I have to have an a after I do a form of the verb ir. So mi madre va a la biblioteca. My mom's going to go to the library. Okay, so mi madre va a la biblioteca, and then I need to say how she's going to get there. So I'm going to say that she's going to go en bicicleta, by bicycle. So let's try it again. So mi madre va a la biblioteca en bicicleta. Okay, now you wouldn't all of a sudden have a completely unrelated person going someplace else. Remember, your paragraph needs to be logical and make sense. Go ahead and give it a try and let us know if you have any questions. Buena suerte. Good luck.